Good morning. How are you all doing? Or good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. So, hello. How are you all doing at this time? How's things going for you? Such big questions, I suppose. When I decided to do this video, I've been a little bit silent in some ways, and in other ways, not really. But I normally have done new moon videos, and the last few months there just hasn't been a calling to do it. But this morning it was very, very strong guidance to come online and to do a reading for the new moon energy that we're experiencing. And largely also because it is a day in numerology today that it's a 444 day. So it's 22 of April 2020. So the 22 adds to 4, and then we've got the 4th month, and 2020 adds to 4. So it's a 4-4 day, which is a day that really aligns with the energy of this year, because this year is a 4 year and it's a 422 year. So we've got both these numbers, and the 4 is all about foundational change. And if there's one thing that the coronavirus is bringing to us, it's foundational change. All structures are shifting, everything is evolving and transforming, and that brings with it quite a lot of emotions. I saw a beautiful quote this morning I posted on my Facebook page by Deepak Chopra that says, when emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence align, we will have an awakened society. And so coronavirus is really, or this lockdown, stay home, this stage of transformation, it's bringing us all to a point of needing to learn how to navigate life from a different place and become more aware of our emotions. And so whatever you're feeling, it's okay. This change is likened to trauma. It's a traumatic change. Our life is different. Trauma is anything where before and after. Before this time, my life was like this, and after this time, my life is like this. And we certainly can express that as being a truth that's going on for us. And when we're going through traumatic change, there's a lot of emotional processing that includes levels of excitement and opportunity and all those sorts of things. But very few people are really at that place. A lot of us are more in there's grief and loss and overwhelm and stress. And we're learning and we're navigating, we're doing things differently. And to be fully human in this experience means to navigate the change, not bypassing your emotions, which means engaging with the emotions that are happening for you. And so we've got this 4 days, the 4 being the foundational change that is happening, and 22 being a master number in spiritual terms. And that means that there's a place for a lot of ascension. And so we're shifting on a foundational level from one place of being to another. And we all get to experience that transition in a way that is an opportunity to heal and grow. And I don't mean that in the sense of you must be learning and you must be healing and you must be growing. What is more important is to honor your experience and to be quite okay with your experience. I have been really, really busy and quite hectic, and last night, I must admit, it was just like all too much for me, and I just had this this good cry, because some of it just feels too much, never ending, and some of it feels, like it's all okay. And learning to be okay and not be okay at the same time is all part of the skill of really being compassionate. And so the guidance is a lot about how do we bring compassion to our action and not just be actioning things, just be compassionate about the experience for each of us as we're going through it. I'm doing a lot of work in corporates at the moment, working with leaders and teams around the impact this change has on us as human beings. And if that's something you want to explore more about and to be kinder to yourself and to be aware of, then please get in touch with me and we can chat about it, both for you individually and collectively, if you're responsible for people, is to create awareness and support mechanisms and tools for navigating this. One of the things that is really, really big for people at the moment and comes through in all the readings that I'm doing is boundaries. The need for boundaries, and how we weren't good at boundaries before, and now boundaries are even more important and more necessary, because like there's no delineation between what's work, what's home, what's children, what's spouses, and all our coping mechanisms are different. So I will be in the next few weeks putting out some talks and workshops around boundaries, so you can have a look for that. The other thing that I will be putting out is a course on spiritual laws and how you use spiritual laws to navigate times of change and transformation. For those of you that are interested in some of the things that I do, Lifting the Veil is definitely going ahead. We've just delayed it to start in May. So if you're still considering doing Lifting the Veil, you're more than welcome to join us. It's definitely the time for us to remember our skills as healers and be able to work with the divine. So that is still going ahead, and I've included the new dates for you. So let me do the reading for today for New Moon. And so the way we're going to do it is the way the guidance is coming forward. And I'm going to pick 3 cards that are relevant to the energy at this point, and channel the messages that come forward around that. I'm not sure if there will be any sort of light language that comes forward or anything that happens in that process, but let's see what they would like to do. The way they are talking about this is that you can choose at this point if you would like to get the guidance of all 3 cards, which is obviously available to everybody who listens to this, or if you would like to choose a card for yourself. I just want to close the curtain here a little. That's a bit better. Or choose a card for yourself that is most relevant for what you need to be focusing on. So you can choose card 1, or I hope this didn't get too noisy whilst I was playing with it, sorry. So you can choose the 3 cards, or you can choose a card, card 1, or card 2, or card 3. So you can check in for yourself now and do that and see which resonates for you. Right, let's shuffle the cards. I know this is always noisy, I'm sorry. So I am also still available for readings, and readings right now are quite valuable in the sense that they're giving insight into the karmic wounds and patterns that need to be healed, and also into the availability around this 4 and 22, what structures are changing in your life and what is available for you, how do you navigate that change, and supporting this integration of the emotion and the spiritual journey into our physical lives. All right, so card 1, card 2, and card 3. Oh, beautiful cards. 2 of them are from the same suit. So card number 1 that has come forward is your dreams are calling you forward. And you can see there, this is from the suit of cards called The Choice Is Yours to Make. If you like the cards, they're still available for sale. They'll just be distributed after lockdown is finished. And tonight I'm doing the last Oracle Masterclass, and I'm going to make it available for purchase. But it's been a wonderful journey with people exploring the cards, which is any cards, not just these ones. So this comes from the suit, The Choice Is Yours to Make. And you'll see the Fibonacci spiral here, which is an expansion energy. It's about letting ourselves step into the corners of our potential and really aligning ourselves with the energy of truth of who we are. We've been playing quite small for a very long time, hiding away, keeping ourselves safe and separate and secure. And quite interestingly, by needing to go into this process, this cocooning process that we've been in, the stay-home process, is a real calling for expanding yourself into the world and allowing yourself to be fully acknowledged and seen for who you are. I did an intergalactic council reading on Monday nights, and they were talking about the tears of sadness that come from being separate from being yourself, from truly allowing yourself to shine, to be the authentic being of light that you are, rather than the mask of performance. And that's what the guides are bringing forward with this. Your dreams are calling you forward. They're talking about this on 3 levels. Firstly, there is a lot of power in the unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind is often taps into desire and will and so on and so forth. And if we can settle our fears, we can tap into the unconscious mind, and the things that we dream and or daydream about, if we take this card very literally, are the inspirations of our intuition. Remember, I said we need to calm the fear down. So when fear is in there, then we start having nightmares and a lot of awfulization that happens. But when we calm that fear down, which often is what happens in a meditative process or in a daydreaming process or in a stillness process, we have these ideas and thoughts and inspirations that come forward. And when we start to have these on repeat, we start to realize that that is a call from your spirit. When you have an inspiration or an idea that repeats itself, it doesn't go away. Then we can sometimes have ideas and then it's like, oh, I was thinking about that. What was it the other day? Oh, I can't remember. Let it go. But those thoughts of things to do, to write this or to share that or to do this, those ones that come up over and over again, that you often wake up thinking about or you've been dreaming about, and we often do not make time for or have time for. We'll get to it one day. Today's the day. Today's the day. The 444 energy, they're saying, is that anything that you work on today, anything that you give action to today, will amplify itself. So as you allow yourself to go into that and just do a couple of things, even if it's just pouring some energy into writing about it or meditating on it or giving it some structure or some form. But it is a manifestation process of bringing our dreams to life. And that's a lot of what this card is about, is that what are the dreams that you're being called to bring to life, to own the manifesting power that you have. And this could be just starting to express it and talk about it and not allow it to just fester in the unconscious as a dream that is never ever allowed to have time of day. And allowing yourself to explore it, to investigate it, and most importantly, to find people to express it to. Now, when you find someone to express your dreams to, or your ideas to, or your thoughts to, make sure that that's something quite sacred. It's a little bit like planting a seed, and a tiny little seed comes up. You don't need somebody who goes like, ugh. And many people do that, not intentionally, not maliciously, but they'll ask you questions that might feel like you don't have the answers to. So when you share this with somebody, sometimes it's saying to them, use the language they're saying, of like, I want to share something that's important to me. All I'm needing from you is validation right now. I don't need criticism, and I don't need inputs, and I don't need questions. Not yet. When I do, I'll ask you. But right now, I need validation. I need encouragement. I need support. And when you can start to language that, people are great at it, hey? Because often when we tell people stuff, they don't know how to help us. They don't know what to do. So when you want to express your dream, say to people, this is a dream I have. Just need you to listen and to tell me it's amazing. I'll never forget the first time Eric said that to me. Eric is my partner, for those that you don't know. And he had been writing a little song for a podcast he was working on. And we got in the car and he was all sort of out of sorts. And he says, I've been working on something. I'm going to play it for you. I just need you to tell me you love it. And so he played it for me. And I went, I love it. I think it's amazing. And then he said, what do you love about it? And I could tell him what I loved about it. So it wasn't hollow words. And then he said to me, okay, I'm now ready for some feedback. What feedback do you have? So allow yourself to lead people through that process, to state what it is you need. But your guides are saying very specifically, if you've got card number 1, that those ideas and inspirations today or within this ambit of energy in the next few days, a little bit of attention, a little bit of energy is going to create a lot of opportunity. So card number 2 comes from the same suit of the choices yours to make, and it's got the same sort of expansion, the Fibonacci spiral that we've got here, and it's the card Be Brave. Be brave. So bravery is a beautiful energy. When they talk about bravery, it's different to courage. To be a brave heart, to be somebody who can be brave enough to navigate this life that has a lot of challenge and complexity in it. It's often said that very brave souls come to earth because we're willing to face so many aspects of our own challenges of a world that is requiring an immense amount of love. And to love requires bravery. You know? To protect yourself, to defend yourself often requires courage. You know? So we think of, I'm scared, and so I must defend myself. And there's a courageous act in that, but true courage is the brave heart, which is that there's no fight, there's love. There's an expression of grace, and they're bringing bravery and grace together. I was just talking about how I'm going to be running a course on the spiritual laws for navigating change. One of the biggest laws that keeps coming forward in readings and channelings right now is the law of grace. And the law of grace is the highest form of love available to us on earth. Grace is the ability to flow, to step into the discomfort, but not in a state of smallness, not in a state of protection, in a state of grace, of gratefulness, of greatness, of openness, of expandedness. And so when we see this woman, she's not fighting. Oopsie, what happened here? Sorry. Sorry, something is happening on my computer and interrupting me, sorry. So she's not fighting. She's not running into war. She's not angry with anybody, but she is alert and she is aware and she's quite centered and she's focused. Yeah, she's not skittishly running around. And one of the things I love the most about this card, and they bring me to talk about it again, is that we see this either a sunrise or a sunset. It doesn't matter whichever way you experience it. But sunrise and sunsets are moments of transition. It's the place in between. And when we're in the place in between, there's great possibility. The space in between also doesn't have structure to it. It's just a place to navigate. And so as we navigate our way forward, how do you stay alert, centered, focused, connected to yourself? Brave in your compassion, brave in your connectedness, brave in your kindness, firstly to yourself and then to others, so that you can navigate a way forward that allows you to create a life that is new for you. That you don't need to fight through this. You don't need to fight through anything, but you can create. And to create is the work of the brave, is that we're here to create. I've got a grid here, some of you have seen it. And I just want to show you the card that is at the center of the grid from the Starseed pack. And look at that, isn't it beautiful? A new earth. And it says, it's happening, keep holding the vision. And as we're creating a new earth, they are linking these two cards together. So for those of you that chose card number 2 specifically, for whatever reason, they want you to see this card. Okay. So the last message number 3, card number 3, mind, body, heart, and spirit integration. Mind, body, heart, and spirit integration. And we see this is from the deck that is all about the portal for change. So this is about how to trust yourself and how to connect to yourself. And so all of these cards have that in common: connecting to your dreams, staying connected to your truth for the bravery. And this card of mind, body, heart, and spirit integration is connecting all the parts of you, gathering everything so you're quite centered. So there's an alignment between all these cards. Mind, body, heart, and spirit integration aligns with the quote that I was talking about earlier, the Deepak Chopra quote, that when we align emotional intelligence with spiritual intelligence, we'll have an awakened humanity. I think I'm not saying it exactly the way he says it, but that's the way it's coming forward. And to honor the human experience you're going through by honoring the emotional experience that you're going through and not bypassing it into a spiritual experience that you're having is I've spoken to many people that are very dedicated to the ascension process and wanting to connect into being part of it. And the ascension process, especially when we start thinking about 5D consciousness and all these sorts of things, it's about bringing that frequency to Earth, not bypassing what's going on Earth and going to that frequency. So that the mind, body, heart, and spirit activation or integration is truly allowing everything to come into you as one, and not to remove yourself from your fears, your anxieties, your guilt, your stress, your worry, your hopes, your dreams, your insights, your physical needs, your emotional wounds. All these things are needing that love, needing that integration, needing that perspective. So we need to bring things in, and that's how things come together, rather than splitting us apart and saying, well, I don't like being on earth, so I'm going to leave that part, and I'll just go and, meditate outwards is what I talk about, is that we go out and I'm just going to live here. And I find the friends and the people that I can, disconnect from life with. Connecting and being very, very, very honored to be part of this process, which requires us to empathize with the true experience of life and the sacredness of life. I mean, the biggest thing that comes through in so many readings around coronavirus, and when I've channeled a lot of the different things, is that we need to start valuing our lives, that we have this amazing life that we get to have, and we get to experience it and to enjoy it rather than just survive it. Now, many of us are in deep survival mode right now for lots of good reasons. And the calling is to honor that and find the grace to live through that. So mind, body, heart, and spirit integration is this making us aware of how we allow the various parts of ourselves to work in harmony, the marriage of self. And that's that deep inward connectedness. Right, I don't know why they want me to do this, but they want me to pull a fourth card. Just it's a card that is for the general group as a whole. Okay. So the card is allow your life to unfold. So aligned with all of these messages is this absolute law of surrender. That I spoke about this a little bit the other day on the journaling course that I'm running, is that beginnings always have endings. And so we can't make that switch too quick. As one door closes, another will open. But we're not really only looking at the opening door. We need to honor the grief and the pain and the fear and the insecurity that any doors that closing might have. And then the joy and the hope and the excitement and the learning that doors that open. So what needs to end in your life? One of the things that's also very true is that as we're going through this process of change, all the things that we've been dependent on as our coping mechanisms, many of those have where we can't turn to anymore. And some of those coping mechanisms that were dependencies and addictions that weren't healthy for us, we're needing to detox from. And that's not only alcohol or cigarettes or whatever it is. It's people, it's bad habits, it's all sorts of things. Shopping, it can be addictions to various places and things that we do, and things that are often used for escapism. We now need to face certain things. So this isn't saying those things are bad, but without them, we need to face what if there is an addiction part, it's then a dependency on it trying to make me feel better rather than learning how to feel better. These are not easy things to navigate, and this really makes us face our own ego and our own personalities and our own wounds and our own addictions. And so allowing things that need to end so we can flow forward, also part of it. And so please don't try and do those things alone if you don't need to. If you feel like you're needing a space to connect, then just reach out to a friend or family and know that I'm available for readings and support. And we'll navigate through as a community with bonds that are richer and deeper and more loving and more supportive to each other. So that's the new moon reading for today. The other aspect of the new moon reading that's on this 444 day is it's also Earth Day. And Earth Day is a day that was dedicated to sort of a lot of the environmental issues that we're dealing with on Earth. And it's actually 50 years old. It was started in 1970. So we've got an anniversary of Earth Day. And so on Earth Day as well, there's also this mind, body, heart, and spirit about enjoying Earth. Earth needs our love, not our pity, but our joy. And so connecting with nature today is a great experience if you have an opportunity to do that. So sending you lots of love and look forward to connecting with you all soon. Namaste.